Welcome back to Inside Sources as part of our coverage of what is happening, particularly in Benue and Plateau states, the callous killings that have persisted in the areas. Today, we go right to the eye of the storm to Naka town in Gwe West, local government of Benue State, where we have Reverend Chidi Okafor, who is the supervising priest of the Naka Missionary Archdeaconry of the Anglican Diocese of Makurdi, as our guest. Reverend, welcome to Inside Sources.
Thank you, Lalu. Thank you, Channels Television. It's an honor to be here. God bless you.
Thank you for coming. So you sent out an alert on Sunday night last week about what was happening in Naka. Can you tell us what exactly prompted you to send that WhatsApp message, of which I was also in receipt?
Thank you, Lalu. Last Sunday was the 1st of June, 2025. A new month, new joy. Very joy was everywhere in the air. We had a wonderful service in the morning, and late in the evening, just exactly at about 10 minutes to 7 p.m., I was in the church, and people were running to the church for shelter and protection. Gunshots were heard everywhere sporadically at the suburb of Naka town, where they call Tio Dam. Tio Dam is the outskirts of Naka town, one aspect of it. There's another place called Mount Lassa, where you have a Catholic renowned school at the outskirts. There's also another location close to the army checkpoint. Gunshots were heard sporadically from these three locations at the same time, at that hour of the day, just from minutes to 7 p.m. And there was panic, there was pandemonium everywhere in the town. And in less than 30 minutes, news of death, people that have been shot dead by bullets, were heard. These terrorists arrived on Bajaj motorcycles and started shooting at people indiscriminately. So the message I sent on Sunday evening around about 7:30, 8 p.m. was a distress call to the whole nation. As at the time I sent that message, the church compound was already filled with people who came to take refuge in the house of God.
Yeah, I mean, I got that message in that, I got a feeling in the message that you sent. And I'm just going to read a portion of that message for the benefit of our audience, just to show how there it was. You said that, note that the gunshot is an alleged terrorism to the Naka town. These menaces have been on since 2009-2011. And you said that out of the 15 council wards of this local government, 14 have been sacked, remaining just this one which have been under siege since the beginning of this year, 2025. And you concluded, said, the closest option is to run, but as it stands, there is nowhere to run to again. Naka town is the only remaining safe area, but there is very low presence of security here. Reverend, I was going to ask you, how is it being a pastor in a community and for a people that are under this kind of onslaught with callous killings? What is that experience like, Reverend?
I must thank you for this question, Lalu. I must confess to you, it is quite challenging. As a man of God, I try to use the scriptures to bring hope to them, at least for them to know that God is able to save us, all of us, from this. I have had countless phone calls by family, by friends. What am I still doing here? To live. That also contributes to my own personal trauma. So, we can't hold programs. We have to shut schools, we are shut down. Churches has to stay off activities for the meantime. the whole time came to a standstill. That is the type of a situation we have. These are the type of people we are pastoring. So it is quite challenging. I must tell you the truth.
So I mean, I can imagine that if I can at all. So what happened on Sunday when you said that a lot of people came to this church compound? Has that been happening before, or was that the first time that people will run to the church compound in fear, or is this a regular occurrence?
I must tell you the truth. It is a yearly experience. During the time of planting and during the time of harvest. What baffles me most is this. Because I came to Naka town September last year at the time of harvest. I witnessed a little of this. I've been hearing. And then I am here now. This is the planting season. They said, none of you should go to farm. At a point, the authority made a public announcement. Nobody should go to farm for now. For the sake of... Okay, these people stayed off farm. You came to where they are trying to patch their wretched lives, to kill them. So what do we call that? So now, all it's shifting. Every year they run. So the church is situated at the center of the town. So those who live at the suburb of the town, at the heat of attack yearly, in the night for safety, they will leave their houses and go and sleep in family, friends, or church where they feel it is safer in the middle of the town. In the morning, they carry their mats and go back. So if you come to Naka town right now, it's funny, every evening and every morning. You see people with mats, with bacco sack on their head, moving up and down as if we're in a war situation. Of course, we're in a war situation. It's as bad as that, Laulu.
Yeah, wow. So what's your own assessment of the efforts of both the federal and state governments in this situation? How will you assess it in terms of protecting life and property, and also in terms of bringing some kind of succor to the impoverished and besieged people of Naka?
Okay, I will answer this question as a victim or someone on ground. Common sense should tell you, Laulu, what is going on. If this thing started in the year 2011 or 2009, and every year, the success the government makes is to create new IDP camps. On a yearly basis, the success we record is to have more communities being displaced. That is the success that we record on yearly basis. Until to this year, that everybody has been shrinked into the headquarters, nowhere to run to. And the moment we are shrinked into the headquarters, the 4 cardinal roads that leads to Naka town, it became unsafe. Anytime you want to travel, you have to go on fasting and prayer to go and come safely. Okay, let me bust your bubbles. The road, which is the busiest road from Makurdi Township to Naka, as we speak, from 2011-2009 till date, is in a highly deplorable condition. I wish I could go there to take pictures and send. The government really wants, and it's a federal road. It's a federal government road, so they say. Whether it's a federal or state road, I don't care. But you cannot drive gear 3 on that road. You must be driving gear 1, gear 2. That is how bad the road is. Not up to 30 kilometers road. And for over 15 years, the government could not fix it. All right, let's talk about the security operatives. Like I said in my text, there is security, but it is low. The enemies that have come to attack us are more than the security we have. The governor have tried to raise what they call civil protection guard and all that. But you know, gone past gone, gone.
Wow.
They are under. We have a divisional police headquarters office here. The policemen are just few. They are minute with one hillocks.
Look at that.
Look
at that.
It's not well coordinated here. In other places, I see vigilante with at least pump action. But what I see here is double barrel against AK-47. And then the hunters are using den gun to go and fight someone with AK-47. Is it not mission?
It is. So that takes us, Reverend, to the issue, essentially in Benue and Plateau states, where this kind of scenario, is quite prevalent. The views have been coming up that government should allow the people to defend themselves, if it's becoming difficult and such a challenge, So what's your perspective? Do you think indeed the time has come for us as a people to begin to ask government that, look, empower the people, create circumstances where the people can defend themselves? What's your take on that, Reverend?
The time is long overdue. Let me tell you.
Wow.
The attack of last Sunday, when these terrorists had their free time to release the mayhem on the people for almost 30 minutes to 1 hour, the only saving grace we had was that one guy around that area who had an arm was someone courage to bring it out and responded. Only that response repelled them to run away. The moment the guy responded, they left the people they were pursuing and faced the guy. So I heard. Wow. Imagine there were 15, 20, or 30 of them. The army of the people is the way forward.
How do you assess the relief efforts, that are being provided to the people, both from the state government and the federal government? The kind of relief efforts that are given to people who have been displaced, who can go to farm, people, like you said, that their economic life is actually zero. How do you assess that, Reverend?
My dear, from my assessment, it is poor. Very poor. At the height of these recent killings since this year, from the one I know, seven recently have upped their game.
That's the state agency for emergency.
A state emergency management agency.
Yes.
Yes. About FEMA, I don't know. I will not say what I don't know. But what I know is that due to hunger, in war situation, the enemy may capture you and take you to exile.
Yeah.
But in case reverse is the case, the people are sending themselves to exile.
Before the enemies come.
Yes, mass exodus of human beings from west to Edo State, Osun State, Kwara State, Kogi State, where they may found a peaceful arable land to farm. Some of them go there and turn to laborers. These are landowners. These who can give you 500 bags of rice in one farming season.
Wow.
Who can give 5,000 tubers of yam. They have left this place to become fugitives, to become laborers.
In their home country.
Just to eat, just to survive.
So sad, Reverend. So we join you in appealing to the National Emergency Management Agency to up its game in Benue State, and in particular to such communities like Naka. But we also want to urge NGOs and Nigeria's philanthropists, well-meaning Nigerians of goodwill, philanthropic agencies, philanthropic individuals, to help in providing succor to our people who are suffering these callous attacks and killings in parts of the country. Thank you so much, Reverend Okafor, for coming to Inside Sources. Thank you for the service that you are providing, both as a pastor and also an humanitarian leader in Naka and in Benue State. God bless you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Laulu. Thank you, Channels Television. God bless you.
All right. Thank you.